This is Garrett Hart for Rock and Recovery, and with me is Emily Jung. She's the CEO of ARCHway Institute. She's also a certified peer specialist and the author of the book, Igniting Hope. Emily, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So first of all, tell me about ARCHway and your role and your position with ARCHway.
Perfect. Yeah, so ARCHway is 501c3. We're going into our 10th year. This is my little elevator speech of ARCHway. We do three things. We help to connect people to treatment and recovery resources. We do that through our Advocates for Hope program, which are peers, people in recovery, and also caregivers as peers. So caregivers who have had loved ones who have struggled with addiction as well. So what they do is they're able to kind of, wrap their arms around someone. They know what they've been through, so they're able to kind of have those good conversations and then kind of share with them some resources, educate them on some resources that are available. We also provide financial assistance to recovery-oriented systems of care, so treatment, recovery housing, recovery community organizations, prevention, all that fun stuff. And then we do education and awareness as well, anything we can do to diminish the stigma, increase awareness, understanding of addiction.
And ARCHway Institute is headquartered in St. Louis, but lots of outreach in a lot of places around the country, and you've really grown in the 10 years that ARCHway has been rolling and helping.
Definitely, yes. We are, technically, we do events in 4 states, North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, and Missouri, but I get requests for assistance from across the country. So we are doing a lot too with peers, networking with peers from across the country in order to make sure we can get people to the resources that they need. It's all exciting.
That is really exciting stuff, that you're reaching out and helping people at a time when, due to the other complications of the opioid epidemic and overlaid with the pandemic, and people have just become much more desperate in their need to just find a resource that can just help them get through what is really a most difficult time.
Yep, exactly. Just trying to figure out where the barriers are, whether it's for an individual who's struggling, a family member, or even a treatment or recovery organization, and how ARCHway can come in and help.
Nice. So let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. You have a book that you have put together, Igniting Hope. And what does it say here? It's the story of community lighting the way to recovery. Such a cool concept. Let's talk about the book. How did this come together?
So this was actually why I was originally brought into ARCHway, was to write the book. It was something that I had also always wanted to do. It was like one of those bucket list items. So I said, of course, I couldn't give up that opportunity. And so, yeah, I started by just doing a ton of interviews with people in recovery, people who were close to ARCHway or had been helped by ARCHway. And then, yeah, it took off running with the story. It takes you through John Stuckey's story. So John is the visionary and founder of ARCHway, and his parents, Dan and Jan, they also founded ARCHway with him. So it takes you through their story, but it also intermixes all these other stories of recovery and then stories from caregivers as well. And along the way, I guess it also tells the ARCHway story. So kind of how ARCHway helped John recover, what ARCHway is doing, all the people that make up ARCHway. So it's a pretty cool read.
And I think one of the most important things for anybody is to find a purpose, to find a focus, and to find some way that you can give back, to be of service. And that's something that comes through in the book?
Yes, definitely. ARCHway was founded on recovery. The family recovered. They wanted to help other people recover. They wanted to light the way to recovery. And it's been that from the beginning, just that kind of peer-to-peer support, wanting to give back, wanting to be of service to others, and that is definitely highlighted in the book. And we also hear so many negative stories, so many hard stories. We don't always see the positive ones, right? They're not publicized as much. So it's a read that will actually show you that recovery is possible, that there is hope.
Well, and particularly these days, the issue that occurs for so many is that this is really a family affair, that the person who is dealing with the disease, it's also the loved ones around who are coping as well. And the fact is that, as I have learned, we focus on our successes because the losses have been so tragic and so many over the years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Anytime that we get a letter from someone that was helped through ARCHway and is in recovery housing now, or we get some sort of success, I like to share it with our board, our staff, so that we can kind of hold on to all those good pieces and keep moving forward.
Right, and the fact is, it's that energy that we need to be able to share to help people believe it is possible for them to live a life of recovery, a new life, a life that they have never known, really, and to find their way through clean time and sobriety to rejoin the community.
Definitely, yes. Those stories are out there, so it's just getting them in the spotlight. So
let's talk a little bit about your story. Tell me a little bit about your background and your recovery journey.
Okay, so I always say my recovery is a little bit different. So I didn't go to formal treatment. I didn't hit the rock bottom where I lost everything. You know, I had a job. I was teaching. I didn't go to my job not sober. My recovery was very much focused around my mental health. I struggled with severe depression and anxiety. I used substances as a way of coping. And eventually I realized that I couldn't do it anymore. I was never going to find balance with my mental health if I continued to use substances. So I put those substances down.
And what strategies do you use to help cope with depression, anxiety? Is mindfulness? Are there other strategies that you use?
Definitely. So one is counseling. I will always say that counseling was a life changer for me. Just being able, I had a really hard time explaining how I was feeling. And so in counseling I was able to do that a little bit more. Treatment for my mental health, so I'm on a mental health medication. And just definitely the whole health and wellness and mindfulness. I wake up and I journal in the mornings and I do my reading and I do my exercise, because those are all things that really help my mental health. Any self-care is very important, and I can, when I feel myself slipping, because it does happen, it's not something that's going to go away, I have all these coping mechanisms in order to get better.
One of the exercises that I have found in my own issues is breathing. Mm-hmm. It's just doing some therapeutic breathing and some quiet time and finding center.
The newest one that I have right now is called tapping. Have you ever heard of
Mm-hmm.
tapping? So it's
Right.
It's just a way, kind of a form of meditation. I love it. I have an app called the Tapping Solution, so I've been kind of playing with it a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
it does really just kind of getting out of your own head sometimes and into a better space is important.
And a better space to be at this place in your life, to be CEO of the ARCHway Institute, and with an organization that continues to grow. People have an interest or a need or want to find a way to reach out to you. How do they get a hold of ARCHway Institute?
So you can get a hold of us through our website, the ARCHwayInstitute.org, or you can email me, you can call me. My email is emily.young@thearchwayinstitute.org. So definitely reach out. And we have our Advocates for Hope on our website as well. So there are peers and caregivers that are on the website. You can reach out to any one of them. There's a form to fill out. So it's go to the website. It'll direct you where to go.
Emily Jung, CEO of the ARCHway Institute, certified peer specialist and author of the book Igniting Hope. Thanks for joining us here at Rock and Recovery.
Thank you very much for having me.